And we are on. Okay. So, yeah, this is all good. I was just saying that this is like more, I mean, of course, your opponent is giving you 2 corner enclosures, which is great. But it's more maybe my style that I don't like this kind of my opponent getting this and then I have to deal with this big area. So I really like to immediately go like do this and that, for example, and immediately we're limiting the amount of moyo. That's just my personal preference because I really dislike those half and half board 50-50 games with territory with like divisions down the middle. So, but this is of course great, and this is great, and he played really well at the beginning. This move is, and this is interesting. I've never seen this attachment, but yeah. Again, to keep it safe, if at this point you don't want your stone to be cut off, we always have 2 choices. Whenever we see an attachment, one is Hane, but if you want a safer one, you can always do a safer one. Which one is a safer?
Extend.
Yeah.
Like R7.
Yeah, so this could have been an easy option, and this way he can never capture that stone, obviously. All of the stones are connected. But when you do this and he cuts, not necessarily maybe this is better for you even. Because you get this one, and now you have wonderful shape on the outside, and he only captured 1 stone. So his territory didn't really get so much bigger, but we got this. And by the way, this move is very interesting from him. When he played here, I was actually suspecting maybe he's not a 22Q, because this is a very nice move. It's second line, which looks like a bad move, but actually this is very nice. And here's why. Because if he doesn't play this move, this is a threat from you. If you play here, you're threatening to play A next and capture, right?
Yeah.
So this block is basically free for you, and he sees that. And that's why he prevents you from playing such a free block, which is a very powerful thing to do. And so I was even thinking maybe here, this block could be possible, because if he now decides to capture, well, then this is still very big. But what you did is great. This is fine. This, okay. This is very unusual. Yeah, and this is okay as a response, yeah, because there's still a cut at A, and even if you don't cut right away, if you cut now and he extends, maybe you cannot do anything. It's hard to kill something here because all of white stones, like this is white's area. White has too many stones here. So, but again, this is a problem. So in the future, this could work. And also here, I'm almost tempted, like if you cut now, what is white gonna do? Like, is he gonna play here and then connect? Maybe. But anyway, this, okay, this, okay. So pretty much nothing to comment so far. Everything looks great. This was your idea to play here, and it's nice because you are taking the points, and also you're threatening to play something like this here,
Yeah.
which will attack his stones. So he probably has to protect. And now this is again, he's attaching, so you have to respond, and maybe my first instinct is to extend, just like this, solidly keep all the points, and still threaten to keep moving there. He probably needs to respond with something like this. And now you have a choice. Do you want to play somewhere here, Or do you want to play somewhere here, start reducing his center? But in the game, this, and you just cut off that stone. Very interesting idea. This kind of move, usually you would need to read very carefully because, you know, what if he plays here and then cuts something? You have to be sure that nothing can fall. So, for example, this is the safest move, right? Just very safe.
Yes.
Because otherwise, this is the move for white. White wants to play here, so this is also your move. Easiest, safest. Next safest is maybe something like this, what you suggested before, or something like this. Also, very, very safe. What you played is less safe, but interesting because in this case, you are very strong, you have a lot of stones, so it works. But be careful, you would need to read this. So you would need to, when you play this, you have to actually think, okay, what if he plays 1? What are you going to do? What is your plan? What is your plan if he plays 1, by the way? Let's test your strategy behind.
Well, I'd probably play H17.
Okay, let me put this. So you do, yeah, that's okay. But what if now he plays 3 all of a sudden? Atari. Capture or connect? Well, it doesn't matter what, actually, whichever one you choose. Let's say you connect, he will push at 5, you block, he cuts, and your first move, your H14, gets cut off. You see it?
Yeah, it's going to get cut off, right?
If he plays this tricky move, and you play Atari, and then suddenly he Ataris from the other side, and he uses that stone as bait. He baited you to start taking it, and now he Ataris from the other side, pushes, and cuts. And your stain and your shape gets cut off, gets separated. So that's what I'm saying. With a shape like this that you put here, you have to be careful. You have to be careful not to miss anything. And so actually, when white cuts here, you need to see that this is a bit of a trap. He's trying to play J15 next, Atari. So you need to now not let him do that.
So play J15.
Yeah, something like that. You would need to play J15 or maybe play this extension, which doesn't allow him to play here with Atari. That is the way to punish the trick, yes. So this way or this way, yes. But you need to see all these. And even this one, it's very nice that this move doesn't really work, because you have those wonderful stones over here helping you. And this white stone cannot really escape because he's going to go right into your black stones, which is wonderful. But that's why I'm suggesting that before doing this, be careful. Think about it, and maybe just play something as simple as this. This does the trick. Maybe not as beautifully as what happened in the game, but this one is 100% safe. That one has a lot of uncertainty, and you need to calculate many things. So this happens. This is great. This is great. And again, right? He's attaching, but you remember that his ultimate goal is to somehow build this wall, and then build this wall, and then he gets all those points. That's what he wants. And this is your goal to prevent him from reaching his goal. So those two stones at the top, they're secondary. What's more important is try to crush the center. And that's why instead of going with something like this or this would allow him to keep doing this, you see? And he's building the area again. So no, we say. We're killing the two stones and doing this. And now this is this. And you found the combination here, but this is, again, you found it by yourself, but in the game, to find it without my help, you need to like stop yourself and say, wait a minute, there's a cut at A, there's a weakness there that he never protected. And if I push now, I have a bunch of Ataris. I have an Atari at this point, and I have an Atari at this point, and I have an Atari at this point. 3 Ataris. That's a lot of Ataris. Maybe, and he also has this cut and this cut. So white has just a bunch of cuts and weaknesses. And when you see that this is happening, this is a sign that, okay, probably something is going to collapse. It's just too many weaknesses. It's the same as when I see those square weaknesses at the bottom, this one, and this one, and I'm thinking, it's not clean. It just looks like it's just difficult. So yeah, if you now start doing something like that and just let him connect everything and he fixes everything, that's too nice. That's being very nice to your opponent. So you have to seize the moment. Notice that there's something cooking here, and then push, cut here, and save the stone. Yeah. I was looking first at, is this possible? This Atari and this? But this is more complicated and maybe not possible. Yeah, you can Atari. So yeah, what you did is perfect then. This is yeah, great. And from here, it's basically just once these stones die, there's not much to do. There's no chance for white anymore. At this point, you're probably winning by 40 points already, and now you just need to be very careful. And by careful, I mean, at this stage, if you're winning by a lot, the last thing you want is some kind of risky move like, okay, this was great. Oh, is there some kind of risky move like this one? Because you never know what to expect with a corner like this. For example, white throws in here, and then Atari, and then you connect, and then suddenly you forget about this, and the stones die, and the game suddenly is reversed. You lose that corner, and the game is reversed. That is something you really don't want. And so, knowing that this whole area, all of that, is completely yours, and there is no weakness there, then all you need is just make sure that, okay, nothing falls apart, nothing collapses, and you can finish that lower left corner with the easiest way possible. Like at this point, you don't need another extra point, another point of territory. You just need to be careful. And so let's get to that moment when you got to that corner. So here, okay, here. So at this moment, you don't need to think about those weaknesses of his anymore. You don't need those weaknesses. You can just play even, what is the safest move we can come up with this corner?
With the lower left?
Yeah. What's the count? Let's estimate the score. Let's see. Okay, black plus 60.
what's the safest move? I don't know. C2.
Okay, that's a pretty safe move. Yeah, C2 really makes, really, like, 100% just puts another nail in that coffin and says, okay, this group is really alive now, really alive, and there's really no chance to do anything about it. Like, nothing. It's just so alive. Whatever white does now, it's alive. So yeah, and then C2 is definitely not the best move. But at this point, you're not proficient at life and death and at solving puzzles in corners. You haven't seen hundreds of these shapes, and you don't know all the ins and outs, which means that you could miscalculate somewhere, make a mistake. And when you're winning a game by 60 points or 50 points, the last thing you want is this kind of miscalculation. And so it's absolutely okay to just go and overprotect. Spend an extra move which might not be the most efficient, but it does the job of settling this corner once and for all without giving your opponent a single chance. So C2 is a great move. And of course, if I'm playing this, maybe I would do this because it gives more points, and I know I'm not gonna die in this corner. I know that even if 9 done invades this corner, I'm gonna kill him, and I will live there. I know that, and that's why I can do this. But if you don't know, if you're not sure, if you don't have this certainty that I have when I play here, then C2 is great. Whichever move you want, this one, sure. Great. It loses 1 point, but it gives you this absolute certainty in your mind and in your heart that this game is done. And this move is a bit tricky. It's the same as, let me give you an example. Let's make this shape a little smaller. Let's say it's like this. And with a shape like this, let's say here, if it's black's turn, you cannot do this, right?
No.
Yeah, so because your 2 stones, they have few liberties, so when white blocks, you have nothing to do. You cannot connect anymore, so yeah. So with a shape like this, you cannot really do much. You just have to kind of wait. You wait for whatever. You pretty much wait for your opponent to play here, and then you connect. And the same thing with the 3 stones also. You cannot do much. Of course, if you have, let's suppose, you have this kind of shape, which is like absolutely alive, like it's 120% alive, right? It has already 4 eyes, it's very alive. Okay, with this shape, you can do anything you want. Yes, you want to play this one? Sure, let's do it. Of course, why not do this? But when your shape is not secure yet, when you don't have this 100% certainty, maybe you don't want to risk doing something like this. Minimize uncertainty, and check everything. And also check all of those things, check that all of these stones are connected. Check these stones, all connected. These 4. Check that these stones are connected, and that this stone can be captured. So all of this needs to be checked. You need to make sure that, okay, I can capture this J15 at any moment, which is great. I can capture those 3 stones at any moment with 2 moves, which is great. I can capture these 2 stones at any moment with 1 move, which is great. So that's kind of the thing. Look around and check everything, double check. Because you see, when your opponent started looking for something, he was really looking for something to try and find some weakness. And you need to, with the same magnifying glass, you need to look for your own weaknesses and try to eliminate them before he finds them. But in this game, no weaknesses, so everything is great. And then this happens. And then the game is over. Yeah. So there you go. Nothing magical, just simple moves. When he attaches, respond. And when something aggressive starts happening, when there's an attachment or some invasion, this is the moment for you to spend some time. Don't respond immediately. Think. Make a plan. Read a couple of moves ahead. You can read. You can read these variations. Oh, and the final thing, when he invaded here, and I said that you can do this. So when he does this,
Don't block.
yeah, because if you now, of course he wants you to block. But if you block, now he will Atari, and what are you going to do? You connect, he takes this stone, and now you need, it's already a pain. Now you need to think how to kill this. Can you kill this? Yes, you can, but now it's complicated. So you don't want to give him this stone. So what can you do?
You don't want to give him which stone?
You don't want to give him this stone, because if you play here,
okay, so
this allows him to play Atari. You don't want to do that.
Yeah. So R14.
Sure, yes, that's one way of doing it. But another way is that you know very well. It's the same as
Oh,
Atari.
the other way. Yeah. You could go S12.
Yeah. S12, he connects, and you capture the other stone, right? So when you play this disarms white immediately. Because after this, maybe white can also start thinking about some kind of shape moves and trying to make eyes. It shouldn't work, but again, this puts a stop immediately. And this is something you know. It's Atari combination. Atari one stone and then capture the one on the second line. If he does anything else, you take. If he connects, you take that one. Done. So yeah. If he invades, and like for example here, maybe an easier move would be something like this. Or like this, again, staying far away from him, you see? We're not touching him at all. But this way, you're limiting his space to this, and how can you make anything in this space? Like the last thing you want to do is something like that, which gives him some chances to try and start pushing your stone. But when you play even this, it's far away, but it's giving him some direction. It's giving him this direction. The expansion, again. This was
What did we play when he did that?
This was your move. This was your move. But I'm saying, you see, this move doesn't exactly limit the expansion. You want to limit that side. So you start eliminating his extension from the side. This move does it, but even better, this, that, this. So something that just blocks, prevents him going sideways. And once you do something like this, what is he going to do? Here, block. Done. Right? This puts a stop to everything right away, and there's no need to read any variations. And yeah. And also, noticing when your opponent is already doing some nonsense is also, you need to, it's just like when you see that your opponent plays some weird move, which is a pass. Like at this point, if your opponent makes, I don't know, let's say this move, right? It doesn't mean you have to run around panicking and thinking, how do I respond to this? You shouldn't, because this is a useless move. It has no chance of survival. It has nothing, no purpose, no strategy, no plan. It's just a silly looking move, which there's no need to respond to. Of course, you won't lose anything if you respond, but You will gain if you don't respond.
Yes.
So sometimes when a move is obviously silly, try and notice that and stop responding. So for example here, when white pushes like this, where is he going? He's going nowhere. And technically, let's say you ignore him and he pushes here. And even this move, he has 0 eyes. Yes, you can respond. Yes, you can respond. But if you ignore, let's say we play anywhere, we pass, and he plays this one, okay? He goes here, and we prevent the expansion. So we ignored him again, he got out, but where is he going? Nowhere. So all of these are just a part of the same mechanism. Always staying sharp. Always trying to catch your opponent at making a mistake. You know he's going to make them. You know he's going to make slow moves. So you're like always anticipating. When are you going to make a slow move? I'm prepared. And when he makes it, you ignore. Like this one. And also staying sharp at noticing this one, right? When you play this push, he cannot block. He has to play maybe this and like this. This is, it looks so obvious, right? When he blocks and yeah, it's easy to miss that. But the moment you start noticing such things, as well as cutting points, ataris, and stuff like that, that's when you become a much more formidable opponent. Okay, so I stopped the recording. It wasn't a very